everybody, I'm Dr. Einstein Newton Bohr, back again. So, today we're going to be talking about how to name molecules and figure out chemical formulas from them. So, welcome chemistry class. Today, let's get started. So, when you're naming molecules and figuring out chemical formulas, you basically need to know a couple things, which you already should know by now. There's a couple of basic steps. Step numero uno. Is it ionic or covalent? We all know what those types of bonds are. Ionic bonds are between two ions. Covalent bond is between two nonmetals. So remember, looking at the periodic table, folks, there was this little thing called a staircase. Like walking up a chain of stairs, as you will. It goes kind of like this. It's not perfect, but it's the best I can do. Anyway, everything up in this little corner right here, and the reception of hydrogen sometimes goes over there too. It depends on the kind of mood it's in. Basically, everything up here is a non-metal. 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 Say it with me. Non-metal. Okay? And then, obviously, everything that's left is a metal. Metals. Non-metals. If you bond a metal and a non-metal together, you have an ionic bond. Two non-metals or more makes a covalent bond. Okay, we already talked about this is stealing electrons and this is sharing electrons. Sharing, caring. We're all good, right? Good, all right. So, step one in figuring out how to name these molecules is to figure out, is it ionic or covalent? All right, that's simple enough. Let's try one. Let's see here. Fe, that's iron. And let's go with Cl. So, simple one. No, let's scratch that. Let's scratch that. We've seen this one before. Mg, magnesium. Hopefully you can see that okay. And Cl2. That one was one that you saw before. I presented it earlier. Magnesium and chlorine, right? Cl is chlorine, Mg is magnesium. Now you have a metal, right? Magnesium is right here, if you remember. Chlorine is down here in the non-metal section. You have one of each, so which one is it? It is, of course, ionic. Ionic bond. Okay, so first step is to identify, is it ionic or is it covalent? We already identified this one as ionic, all right. So we'll go to step two then. Really, there's only three basic steps, and you only have to do two. Step one, is ionic or covalent? If it's ionic, you do step two. If it's covalent, do step three. Then you're done. Ta-da! All right, so let's do step two, since we already identified it as ionic. If it is ionic, go to step two, all right? So, ionic, step two, here we go. Get on your seatbelts. Safety first, all right. What are the charges of each ion? What are the charges? Okay, charges are positive and negative, right? Or blue. The first atom, or ion in this case, is the metal. You always, 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 say it with me, always write the metal first. Metals come first. Metals come first. All right? Remember that. Mg. I'll explain why. Mg is a metal. Metals are always, always, always positive. Metal, positive. So, and non-metals are always negative. you always want to be positive first, right? Have the negative stuff be later. Be positive first, negative stuff later, alright? So, I'll erase this to make it kind of more legitimate, more clear. Magic, see, it's still kind of there like a ghost. Alright, so let's see here. We had Mg. What is the charge of Mg in its stable form? Well, Mg is an atom, magnesium. Let's draw Mg with its valence electrons. Well, it's in the second column. Now, everything in this one was +1, right? Or had one additional valence electron. Everything in this one has 2 valence electrons. So here is its valence electrons. I represented the valence electrons as little dots. Okay? Picture them as dots. You could write them as minuses if you want, because they're negatively charged. Okay? Either way suits you. Just be familiar that you could write it either way. Alright, let's go over to, I'll erase this, kind of get some room over here. Cl. Cl is all the way on the right-hand side. But remember, the right-hand side is neutral, so that's 0. It has 7 valence electrons. Cl, because it's the 7th column over. So Cl, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or if you write the minuses, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.